When you need a mortgage, don't stress at all. Just tune right in and give these guys.
Good morning. Good morning. The producer hit the live button quick on us today. It is Tuesday, August 19th. What's going on, boys? First day of school, week of school. All the new pictures of the shoes are out there. Bus stops are full. What a time to be alive.
Good morning, man. Not Shaler. Shaler had a crazy guy doing a scare, so they moved it to tomorrow.
Oh, wow.
I did see that on the news.
What a way to start school, huh?
I saw it on the fake news I watched.
Yeah. Yeah, man.
That sounded like someone that didn't want to wake up early, had the Sunday scaries and said, let's push summer one more day.
If you saw the guy, you would know that's not the case.
No, I didn't see anything about it, so.
He's scary.
Wow. Well, yeah. Good luck to all those new kids out there. Get straight A's. Make your parents happy. Of course, we all got straight A's on this podcast, I'm sure.
Absolutely. I was up there.
Yeah. I think they probably used did they even have report cards when Anthony was in school?
Wasn't that long ago.
But anywho, boys, today, something we've never really talked about, but heck, being in Pittsburgh, got a lot of rivers, a lot of creeks. Frankly, flood insurance can affect a lot of homes in our area, and it can affect you when you're buying a house. It can affect you guys as agents if you're selling, listing, looking at a house. Flood insurance, if it's required when you buy the home, can be a deal breaker, plain and simple. If it's not known about, one, the buyer may not qualify. Two, the buyer may not want to pay it because, heck, Tom, it can be pretty expensive.
Yeah, there's different types of flood insurance. And I'll tell you this, across the board, they're not cheap. So it doesn't matter which one you're going for. And we'll kind of break down the different ones and when you need them. Excuse me. But all of them are not cheap. Certain loan products can't even be done with it. Floods cause a problem, as we saw a few months ago down in Texas. It could be catastrophic. So we need to be protected and to make sure that the buyers are protected as well as the bank.
And again here, no lenders flipping a coin, Anthony's not just pulling a flood zone out of his butt and saying you need flood insurance. This is all based off of FEMA flood zones, where the house sits. There's different levels. There's national, there's private flood insurance, there's FEMA flood insurance, government compared to private. They have plenty of different costs. Sometimes the yard is in the flood zone, but the structure isn't, where you don't need flood insurance. Sometimes, guys, the flood maps change, where the previous owner didn't require flood insurance, but now because you're purchasing it, you do require flood insurance. This is all something that gets worked out during the processing of your loan, but the problem is knowing it. And a lot of times we need the listing agent's help of getting information to know if it's in a flood zone, right, Anth? Because we're not really running flood certs on pre-approval, so we need the real estate agent's help to get the buyer the proper information.
Yeah, I mean, that's exactly right. I mean, we're not, the flood certs aren't being ran on every property a client is just visiting. You know, we run those flood certs and everything else on the back end once there's an accepted offer. So once your agreement's accepted, then we're starting the process. We're ordering all the necessary information, and flood cert being one of them on every file. So that's going to let us know whether this property is in a flood zone, what type of flood zone, so that we can properly guide that client to get the flood insurance, whether it's FEMA based or it's private flood for the loan that we're trying to lend in the program. So it would make it easier if the client knew that up front, you know, when they're seeing that property, because, hey, some people might not want to deal with that. They might not want to be in a flood zone and deal with a possible flood, even though it could be insured. So knowing that ahead of time definitely helps the masses across the board.
And the number one question we get, but you already made me get homeowners insurance, Anthony. You told me my homeowners insurance is going to protect me against a fire or theft. Why not flood?
Well, flood is a option. It's an optional choice for a client. But if it's on the flood cert and says it's in a flood zone, it's a requirement. So it's not even an option. You can always add flood at any time. It's kind of like earthquake insurance.
Yep.
You don't know you need it till you need it. But we're not really prone for earthquakes here, so that's not a prominent insurance that would be required.
Yeah, so plain and simple, your basic homeowners insurance does not have flood insurance. That's a separate type of insurance. Correct. And if you're in a flood zone, you have to pay that. So now your mortgage payment is going to be higher every month because you have homeowners insurance and you have flood insurance. And heck, the flood insurance could be more by itself than homeowners insurance. So that's what Anthony's talking about. Does the buyer want to pay, heck, $100, $200, $300 more a month? Do they want to have the risk of it being in a flood zone? All this information is valid because sometimes like, hey, why is this house priced so well? There could be a reason it's priced so well. Tom, not everything is as good as it seems. And flood insurance, we don't want to kill deals. We just want to make sure we have all the information up front to give the buyers so they can make that educated decision if they want to purchase the home or not.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, if it's by that creek, river, pond, ocean, that's what's going to require the flood, some type of body of water. The homeowners will cover a lateral pipe bursting in your house and your house flooding from the pipe. We're talking about a large body of water that is going to flood you for this flood insurance. So that's important to know what you're buying into. And another thing to note is we cannot do this on a down payment assistance program. The flood, is way too expensive and the calculation's way too far off to do a PHFA product and do with flood insurance. So that's something to keep in mind too on that buyer that might be buying close to the creek. The house is a little bit cheaper because it's in the flood zone. We might not be able to qualify them because of the flood.
And again, I've had the arguments, Ryan, the house is up a hill. How could this be in a flood zone? We don't determine this. These are FEMA flood, 100-year floodplains. It's their maps. It's not a determination by any lender. The lender generally, though, is going to have to go off of the flood maps and if the house is in that floodplain or not. You can try to argue it, but it is or it isn't in the flood zone. That's kind of how it works.
Yeah, it's hard to have them rewrite their maps.
Yes, and generally, if they're rewriting them, they're adding land to the flood zone. So just keep that in mind. We don't want any offer getting accepted and then in the process finding out, oh crap, we need flood insurance, because it may be one that the buyer's okay with paying it. They're okay with being in a flood zone, but a debt to income ratio can be destroyed and then the buyer cannot qualify if we add this debt. You do not know if they're going to qualify with this extra payment. So it has to be fully re-underwritten, fully re-looked at. We have to see if you can get flood insurance. The pricing now of flood insurance has been completely property to property specific. It's all risk-based. So it's even hard for me. I don't know about you guys. If I hear there's a property in a flood zone, to even give an estimate without them calling an insurance agent right away, because it varies so much.
Yeah, I like to keep it on the high end around $200 or $250 a month. We're talking. I mean, that's an extra $3,000 a year it could cost somebody to be in that flood zone. And typically, we don't see a big mansion, $400,000 or $500,000, $600,000 house sitting in a flood zone. It's usually a lower income house or a smaller house that DTI is usually up towards the top.
Yeah, and if you are a listing agent, you're listing a property. Hey, you work with West Penn Financial. You're a partner with us. You're concerned that your property's in a flood zone. You're not sure. We can help you. All right. We're not here to waste our time, right? We're not message getters and paper pushers. But if you're concerned about the listing, if you want to have a mortgage advisor, a loan officer behind you to get you some information with that listing, present it from West Penn Financial, we could run a flood cert and see what's going on. But all that stuff costs money and time and effort, and we're here to help partners. So we can help our partners if you're concerned. We can help let you know it isn't a flood zone, because that could change everything if you don't know.
Yeah, absolutely. Let us help. We're a
here
phone
for.
call away. We're a text message away.
We can help with listings as much as we can help with buyers. We
I
can
just helped somebody yesterday, a little off topic, but I helped an agent. We wrote up a 2-1 buy down little script, as well as we have the 2-1 buy down flyers that they can now send out to the clients that have walked in there, or to future people coming in to look at the house to try to move it. We're willing to help. Let us help.
If you have a listing sitting, Friday's episode is for you. We'll talk about how we can help you. So we'll see you guys Friday, and have a great week.
See you guys.
Later.
Tom, Ryan, and Anthony